government officially lowers PCR test rate to 275,000 rupiah. Cheaper interbank transfer fee to be applied from mid-December 2022. Good evening, Market Headlines is ready to provide you a number of information from business, economic, and capital market sectors. And as the pandemic is still ongoing, we will provide you the latest COVID-19 information. Please stay safe by taking some simple precautions such as physical distancing, wearing a face mask, avoiding crowds, cleaning your hands, and having less mobility. With me, Wicky Adrian, this is Market Headlines. The government has officially lowered the rate for the COVID-19 PCR test to 275,000 rupiah for the Java and Bali areas and 300,000 rupiah for outside Java and Bali. PCR test rates have decreased several times. In the early days of the COVID-19 pandemic, the PCR test rate was quite high, reaching 2.5 million per test. The Minister of Health then set an upper limit price for 900,000 rupiah. After receiving a lot of criticism from the public regarding the high cost of the PCR test, in the mid of August 2021, the government lowered the PCR test to 495,000 rupiah.
Ketiga, dari hasil evaluasi, kami sepakati bahwa batas tarif tertinggi pemeriksaan real-time PCR diturunkan menjadi 275.000 untuk daerah Pulau Jawa dan Bali, serta sebesar 300.000 untuk luar Pulau Jawa dan Bali. Keempat, kami mohon agar semua fasilitas pelayanan kesehatan seperti rumah sakit, laboratorium, dan fasilitas pemeriksaan lainnya yang telah ditetapkan oleh Menteri dapat mematuhi batasan tarif tertinggi real-time PCR tersebut. Kelima, hasil pemeriksaan real-time PCR dengan menggunakan besaran tarif tertinggi tersebut dikeluarkan dengan durasi maksimal 1 kali 24 jam dari pengambilan swab pada pemeriksaan real-time PCR.
The Ministry of Investment is optimistic that the investment realization target in 2021 of 900 trillion rupiah will be achieved. This optimism is based on realization of investment until September 2021, which was reached 73% of this year's target.
The Minister of Investment or Head of BKPM Bahlil Lahadalia continues to strive to boost investment realization, especially pursuing the target in 2021 of 900 trillion rupiah. Bahlil believes that the investment target will be achieved because until September 2021, investment realization has reached 659.4 trillion rupiah, equivalent to 73.3% of the target.
Realisasi investasi dari Januari sampai September dari target 900 triliun itu sudah mencapai 659,4 triliun atau sudah mencapai 73,3%. Kalau dibandingkan dengan tahun kemarin Januari sampai dengan September year on year itu kita tumbuh 7,8%. Kami akan tercapai. Jawaban saya ini bukan berarti tanpa dasar. Kami telah melakukan kalkulasi mapping terhadap beberapa investasi kami yang sudah realisasi dan calon yang akan masuk di kuartal keempat dengan peluang yang ada.
For this reason, in pursuing this year's investment realization target, a number of steps have been taken, especially with the presence of a number of investment commitments that will enter in the fourth quarter of 2021. Especially the investment minister said that he has calculated the investment potential that will be realized by investors. From Jakarta, Ade Firmansyah for IDX Channel.
The Minister of Finance said that the important improvement, the trend of export-import growth that reached double digits was believed to be able to maintain Indonesia's economic growth, which is estimated to be able to reach 4% in 2021.
The Ministry of Finance believes that overall economic growth in 2021 will be able to grow positively. With the successful control of COVID-19 plus impressive trade performance, Indonesia's economic growth in 2021 is expected to reach 4%. In the fourth quarter, the Minister of Finance Sri Mulyani Indrawati assessed that the economy would still have the potential to rebound. Various early indicators of the national economy have increased in September 2021. The most prominent is the massive growth in exports and imports. This performance was supported by a significant increase in commodity exports, which boosted the performance of the trade balance.
Untuk ekspor impor yang lain kita lihat di sebelah kanan, untuk year on year-nya pertumbuhan 47,6 dan untuk importnya 40,3%, masih bertahan pada level growth yang sangat tinggi yang kita lihat semenjak bulan Mei tahun ini, tetap bertahan pada level growth double digit yang sangat tinggi di atas 40%. Ini mengabarkan bahwa perekonomian Indonesia cukup bullish.
The trade balance surplus in September 2021 reached $4.37 billion, supported by export performance which grew 47.6% on an annual basis, while imports grew 40.3%. From Jakarta, Harjo Patmo for IDX Channel.
Moving on to global update, Singapore's health ministry is looking into an unusual surge in infections after the state reported 5,324 new cases of COVID-19. Meanwhile, Russia's President Vladimir Putin told Gazprom to turn to refilling European gas storage facilities next month. More stories on today's International Minute.
Singapore's health ministry has said that it is looking into an unusual surge in infections after the city-state reported 5,324 new cases of COVID-19, the most since the beginning of the pandemic. Singapore also recorded 10 new deaths from the disease on Wednesday, increasing the toll to 349. The Ministry of Health is looking into this unusual surge in cases within a relatively short window and closely monitoring the trends for the next few days. President Vladimir Putin told Gazprom to turn to revealing European gas storage facilities next month, signaling that long-awaited additional Russian supplies could be on the way. The move will create a more favorable situation on the European energy market, Putin said at a meeting broadcast on state television Wednesday. He ordered the state-controlled energy giant to focus on filling underground storage in Germany and Austria, starting November 8th once it's completed the process at home. Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan said he expects to meet U.S. President Joe Biden next week and take up Turkey's removal from the U.S.-led F-35 stealth fighter jet program. The United States removed NATO ally Turkey from the international program that produces the F-35 jets in 2019 over Ankara's decision to buy Russia's advanced S-400 surface-to-air missile defense system. Washington has said the Russian system compromises the F-35 security. The World Bank has suspended its aid to Sudan after the military there staged a coup against the civilian government. Political leaders were arrested on Monday, sparking nationwide protests and international condemnation. The African Union has also suspended Sudan from the bloc over the unconstitutional seizure of power. The U.S. has frozen $700 million in aid. Sudan's civilian and military leaders had been a fragile power-sharing agreement for the past 2 years. IDX Channel reports.
Market headlines will be right back after the break. Stay tuned.
menjalani kehidupan yang mapan dan masa depan yang sejahtera. Sikapi uang dengan bijak. Mulailah berinvestasi di pasar modal. Dengan membeli saham melalui Bursa Efek maupun perusahaan sekuritas, Anda dapat menikmati hasil keuntungan dari perusahaan-perusahaan besar yang tersedia. Pastikan Anda berinvestasi di perusahaan yang memiliki izin resmi. Cerdas mengelola, masa depan sejahtera. Otoritas Jasa Keuangan, lembaga pengawas industri jasa keuangan yang terpercaya.
Satgas COVID-19 tetap mengingatkan agar masyarakat tetap disiplin dalam menegakkan protokol kesehatan.
Pemerintah akan melakukan upaya terbaik untuk memvaksinasi sebanyak mungkin orang dan secepat mungkin.
Kementerian Perdagangan optimistis target pemerintah untuk membuat 30 juta UMKM go digital bisa tercapai di akhir tahun 2023. Wisata Bali dan Labuan Bajo hingga saat ini masih menjadi favorit.
Welcome back. Bank of Indonesia will start implementing the BI Fast Payment System at the end of this year. The implementation of this new system will make interbank transfer fees cheaper to only 2,500 rupiah per transaction.
Bank of Indonesia will start implementing the BI Fast Payment System at the end of this year. The implementations of the new system will make interbank transfer fees cheaper from 6,500 rupiah to 2,500 rupiah. Governor of Bank of Indonesia Periwarjo said that the first phase of implementation will begin in the middle of second week of December 2021.
Bank Indonesia bersama industri akan mulai mengimplementasikan BI Fast, yaitu infrastruktur pembayaran retail dengan nilai sampai dengan 250 juta yang terus-menerus bekerja 24/7 serta merta real time dan dengan biaya yang murah 2.500 rupiah ke nasabah. Insya Allah pada minggu kedua Desember 22 bank telah siap untuk mengimplementasikan BI Fast. 6 minggu kemudian, minggu keempat Januari 22 bank. Dan kami mengajak bank dan juga lembaga pembayaran non-bank terus untuk semakin cepat untuk mengimplementasikan BI Fast.
The Governor of Bank of Indonesia said that the fee is cheaper than the current rate of the Bank of Indonesia National Clearing System, which is 2,900 rupiah per transactions. The implementation of the first phase will be followed by 22 banks. Then the central banks plan to implement the second phase of implementations of the end of January 2022, which will be followed by 22 other banks. IDX Channel report.
Financial Services Authority or OJK reports that the realization of bank lending continues to increase until September 2021. The authority even projects bank credit to grow 4 to 5% in 2021. Chairman of the OJK Board of Commissioners, Wimbo Santoso, said that in September 2021, bank credit grew 2.21% on an annual basis and 3.12% since the beginning of the year. Wimbo further explained that lending grew in various types of credit, such as working capital loans grew 2.85%, investment loans grew by 0.37%, and consumption loans by 2.95% year-on-year. OJK said that the ability of banks to disburse credit was also monitored strongly and reflected in loose liquidity.
Kan sudah mulai tumbuh ya per September ya itu 2,21% secara YoY atau ya secara year to date sebesar 3,12%. Ini masih ada beberapa bulan ya untuk Oktober, November dan Desember dengan adanya year to date 3,12% ini kami perkirakan ya, pertumbuhan kredit tahun ini akan jatuh ring antara 4-5%.
Ministry of Trade ensures the availability of cooking oil in anticipation of price spikes. Regarding this, the Indonesian Vegetable Oil Industry Association says that the increase in cooking oil prices was due to a shortage in supply in the global market.
The Director General of Domestic Trade at the Ministry of Trade, OK Nurwan, said the government would ensure the availability of cooking oil in the country in anticipation of price spikes. OK explained because the current rising oil price, it is feared that business actors will take the opportunity to export these commodities. To that end, the Ministry of Trade has also written to actors or cooking oil producers to supply cooking oil in the domestic market. His party will not immediately intervene because they are still monitoring the situation. As previously reported, cooking oil prices soared at the end of October 2021. The surge in cooking oil prices occurred in various regions. Entrepreneurs who are members of the Indonesian Vegetable Oil Industry Association revealed that the increase in cooking oil prices was due to a shortage in supply of vegetable oils and animal fats in the global markets. IDX Channel reports.
In the midst of the debt polemic and the threat of bankruptcy of Garuda Indonesia, the President Dr. Irfan Setiaputra was reported by the Garuda Workers Union to the Minister of SOEs. The Garuda Workers Union said Irfan Setiaputra had used office facilities to invite his family to attend official forums while enjoying his vacation. The Workers Union received information that the Garuda Indonesia member card, namely GA Miles Platinum VIP, was issued to 4 members of the family of Garuda's CEO. Knowing this, the chairperson of Garuda Workers Union, Dwi Yulianta, then wrote a letter to the SOE Minister, Erick Thohir, to investigate. This letter was made in response to the Garuda Indonesia CEO confession regarding his attendance at the IATA meeting invitation on 3-5 October 2021. The Garuda Workers Union also concerned that, in fact, apart from attending the invitation, the CEO admitted that he was continue on vacation with family and returned to Jakarta on October 16, 2021. Stay with us because Market Headlines will be right back after the break.
Jika Anda adalah investor saham, Anda mendapat keuntungan di antaranya capital gain, yaitu keuntungan dari selisih harga beli dan harga jual saham. Dividen, yaitu pembagian laba kepada pemegang saham. Keuntungan lainnya, investor bisa memperoleh pendapatan tambahan dengan meminjamkan sahamnya melalui layanan pinjam meminjam efek atau PME. Apa itu PME? PME merupakan pinjaman efek sementara berupa saham dari investor untuk keperluan penyelesaian transaksi bursa. Apa saja manfaat yang didapatkan? Investor memperoleh keuntungan. Investor tetap dapat menerima dana sebagai pengganti dividen jika ada pembagian dividen saat sahamnya sedang dipinjamkan. Pendapatan yang diterima investor dari layanan PME dapat digunakan untuk membayar biaya penyimpanan saham. Saat nilai saham turun, investor tetap dapat memperoleh pendapatan hingga mengurangi potensi kerugian. Dan yang terpenting, KPEI menjamin pengembalian saham yang dipinjamkan sesuai waktu yang telah ditentukan. Menarik bukan? Prosesnya sangat sederhana. investor cukup menghubungi perusahaan sekuritas dan menandatangani formulir perjanjian PME. Selanjutnya, jika terdapat kebutuhan penyelesaian transaksi bursa oleh peminjam, saham yang akan dipinjamkan diserahkan kepada KPI melalui perusahaan sekuritas. Setelah proses PME selesai, maka KPI akan mengembalikan saham yang telah dipinjamkan dan memberikan pendapatan kepada investor melalui perusahaan sekuritas. Segera hubungi perusahaan sekuritas Anda, Customer Care KPI, atau kunjungi website kami untuk mengetahui layanan PME. PME, pinjamkan sahamnya, dapatkan manfaatnya.
Welcome back. At the Jakarta Composite Index intraday movement earlier today, JSA was open at the level of 6,576.14. The index was approaching the time or the closing time of the session. The index was on the level of 6,535.08. Then the index was showing weakening trend by the second session closing time. Index was closed at the level of 6,524.07. In short, JCI went down 1.18%. Next, we're going to see the sectoral movement leading the dynamics of today's trading. We got technology as the leader of the strengthening trend that went up 0.77%, and we got energy as the leader of the weakening trend that went down 2.68%. Industry went down 2.22%, and basic industry went down 1.94%. Moving on to top gainers and top losers, here are the key highlights from today's trading session. Arto went up 0.17% to the level of 14,850 rupiah per share. MLPL went up 8.33% to the level of 390 rupiah per share. SMGR went up 2.02% to the level of 8,825 per share. And Friend went up 2% to the level of 102 per share. Meantime, the top losers for today's trading, we got Bank BRI went down 1.17% to level 4,240 rupiah per share. Bank BCA or BCA went down 1.01% to level 7,375 rupiah per share. And Adaro went down 5.78% to level of 1,630 rupiah per share. PCBA went down 5.04% to the level of 2,640 rupiah per share. And this is the intraday movement of rupiah towards US dollar. Opened at the level of 14,197, rupiah was also showing weakening trend towards US dollar and was closed at the level of 14,222. In summary, rupiah went down 0.4%. Telkom subsidiary Mitratel conducted an initial public offering by offering a maximum of 25 billion shares or 29.85% of the issued capital.
Telkom subsidiary Mitratel conducted an initial public offering by offering a maximum of 25 billion shares or 29.85% of the issued capital. Mitratel appointed BRI Danareksa Securities, HSBC, JP Morgan, and Mandiri Securities as joint book runners and joint global coordinators. As for the price range offered by Mitratel, it ranged for 775 to 975 rupiah per share. Director of BRI Danareksa Securities, Bomedian Sihombing, said that 40% of the proceeds from the IPO will be used for working capital. Then the other 50% will be used for inorganic capital expenditures and the remaining 10% for other company needs.
Sekitar 40% akan digunakan untuk kebutuhan modal kerja terkait dengan rencana-rencana yang bersifat organik. Kemudian sekitar 50% akan dipergunakan untuk modal kerja untuk hal-hal ataupun kegiatan yang bersifat anorganik, dan sisanya 10% akan diperuntukkan kebutuhan modal kerja serta kebutuhan-kebutuhan lain dari emiten di waktu yang akan datang.
Meanwhile, Mitratel Investment Director Hendra Purnama explained that in the future, management will acquire 6,000 towers, where the funds will come from the IPO proceeds.
Kita perkiraan untuk tower yang kita akuisisi itu sekitar 6.000 tower.
The roadshow and book building of Mitratel shares are scheduled on October 26 to November 4, 2021. Then the plan to list Mitratel's initial shares on November 22, 2021. From Jakarta, Gilang Praditya for IDX Channel.
In order to boost its performance, Elnusa has realized capital expenditure around 292 billion rupiah from January to September 2021. This figure increased from the realization of capital expenditure spending until June, which was around 259 billion rupiah. Elnusa's corporate secretary Ari Wijaya stated that the company's capital expenditure spending is inseparable from the condition of the oil and gas industry in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic. In detail, the realization of Elnusa's capital expenditure consisted of investment in additional capacity of oil field services equipment of 51 billion rupiah and subsidiaries of 68 billion rupiah, maintenance of field services capacity of 91 billion, seismic investment of 49 billion, EPC and operation maintenance of 1 billion rupiah, oil field services capacity, maintenance of subsidiaries 16 billion, and non-project investment of 15 billion rupiah. Step aside from market condition as the efforts in achieving herd immunity is still going on. Here it is an update data about COVID-19 vaccinations in Indonesia. And the news close our market headlines today. Please enjoy our next program on IDX Channel, Your Trustworthy Economic, Business and Capital Market Channel. To prevent the spread of COVID-19, always wear a face mask and get vaccinated immediately. Masks have been shown to reduce the risk of transmission of 80%, while vaccines minimize the risk of death by 73%. So let's wear a face mask and get vaccinated, because masks and vaccines keeps us healthy and happy. I'm Wicky Adrian. Have a nice evening and stay safe.
Apa yang harus diperhatikan utamanya gitu ya ketika ingin membuat sebuah perusahaan?
Pertama, cari partner yang tepat, mentor yang tepat, dan yang ketiga adalah butuh network.
Wakil Presiden Maruf Amin menegaskan pengembangan industri halal menjadi salah satu fokus pemerintah dalam memajukan sektor industri di Indonesia.
Kita mampu untuk menjadi terbesar.
Saya Prisa Samodatu membawakan program berita News Screen yang menghadirkan informasi seputar ekonomi maupun juga bisnis dari